Hey everybody, it's your favorite terrible racer back to talk to you again. Real quick one today, or at least I think it'll be a fast one. I'm really curious, and I've had a conversation with a few people about it, as to whether or not the equipment you use when sim racing makes a difference, and if so, how much, right? Now I think we all know there are competition level, and when I say competition level, I mean esports, getting paid level drivers out there who I know for a fact, and because I've seen it, are racing on the same thing I do, the G920. I am not that level, never have been, never will be. That's okay. But the question still becomes, could that person or someone like myself who does this for fun and isn't really overly concerned about being the fastest, just being a decent driver, could the piece of kit used have an influence on how well they do? And again, we're not talking about taking a plebe like myself and turning them into an alien. We're talking about if your average lap time on this particular course, on course X, is a minute 42, could you get down to a minute 41 and a half average based on the equipment you use? So I thought I would take time, given the opportunity, obviously non-scientifically, because I'm one person. If you were going to scientifically measure this, I suppose you'd need 1,000 people all doing the same thing with control groups and all that jazz. And that's obviously not going to happen. But I think we can have the conversation about whether or not we have the ability to gain time based on the equipment we use in sim racing. So here's the plan. 5 laps at Imola, 5 laps at Spa, and we'll fast forward through them. What matters here is we're going to take the average lap time across those 5 laps. Hopefully 5 clean ones quickly, because I don't want to do this all day. 5 clean laps across Imola, 5 clean laps across Spa. We're going to use the same car. We're going to use the same weather settings. We're going to use all that. Tire pressure is never going to be perfect for me because I don't bother much, so you won't even see me adjust tire pressures when we get in there. The point being is, if we're controlling for that, and the only thing changing is the fact that in the first set, you're going to see me run on the G920 with the 920 pedals, the only upgrade being the True Brake, which, again, to me feels better than the original, but it's obviously not a load cell. They even admit that themselves. It gives you a little bit of a load cell feel. It's not a load cell brake. So the first set that you'll see, 5 laps and 5 laps, is going to be on the G920 that I have now. Coming in very soon is the CSL-DD, and I will be pairing that with the McLaren GT3 wheel, okay, along with the, and I'm not going to pick them up and move them, but the Club Sport V3 pedals that have had the brake performance kit installed and have had the damper installed on the throttle, okay? So we're going to get our times, our average time on the 920. Then we go and get our average time with this setup, with the CSLDD and, of course, the V3 pedals. And let's see if there's a difference. Again, it's non-scientific, but what the hell? I'm going to drive anyway. I might as well record it for science. And then I can tell everybody, why did you do this? I did it for science. And they're going to be like, come on. And I'm going to be like, no, we did it for science. So it's going to be pretty cool. So stick around. Again, we'll fast forward through all the laps and stuff. I'm just going to go get them. You guys can watch me do it, but we'll kind of right through them, make it fast for you. And we'll see what we get at the end. I don't know. Maybe it'll be the same. Maybe I'll do worse. Because it's new and I'm not used to it. Maybe I'll do a little bit better, but I'll be surprised. I mean, even again, given being the mediocre driver I am, I'll be surprised if I gain half a second. I'll really be surprised if I gain half a second across those 10 laps between the two systems, just because I know the kind of driver I am. But I have the opportunity to do so, so why not? Let's give it a shot, right? So stick around. We're gonna go get in the rig, get ready to go, and we'll get on this and we'll see which one is faster. Okay, guys, so as I said, very simple. We're going to run 5 at Imola, 5 at Spa. Going to make it go as fast as possible in the actual video that you guys are going to see. The point here being to see, get the 5 laps, 5 clean laps, get an average time, and that's it for today. I'm on the G920, or the G920. G920 pedals. That's it. It's just very simple. We're going to use the same setup every time. For me, I only have one, as you can see. So you can compare that later if you want to. We are in hot lap mode, and up there in the top you can see the weather. The track is optimum, temperature at 25°C. Now again, you guys saw I didn't really touch my tire pressures or anything like that. I don't have to touch fuel. It's hot lap mode. So my pressure is getting a little wonky, but again, I set the weather up the same every time, so we should be good, all right? So with that, let's go drive. You guys can watch me screw up for 5 laps. All we're going to do is watch that lap counter until we get 5 good ones. And right there we see why I wasn't pushing, invalidated that last lap. So we will go run that one more time. Just because, yeah. Honestly, a little surprising because, and not because I invalidated that lap. What I find surprising right now is that my first lap was actually my fastest, because usually, for myself, if I come into hot lap or during like a qualification or something, it's like my third or fourth that usually ends up being the fastest, and then after that it's like diminishing returns for whatever reason, and they're close, but none of them are ever as fast as those third or fourth laps. And this one, like, first lap fastest, and now struggling to get that speed again. And you see I just went wide there. A couple slips, couple slides, right? Like, my goal here was just to have a pace, get an average time, and go from there. And honestly, this is like, I don't know if it's indicative of my normal driving. Probably. I haven't been racing a ton at Imola lately. More just screwing around with it once in a while. But it's a track I know, so I figured I'd pick that because it's one I shouldn't struggle to get clean laps on. Which, throughout one, but whatever, close enough, right? It took 6 laps to get 5 clean ones. A little slow there, just a skosh. But as soon as this lap finishes, provided I can keep it on the track, we will go take a quick look and get that average time. Again, provided I can keep it on the damn track. Jesus. Terrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Return to garage. So let's go look at the timetables real quick. And again, very kind of strange to me because they just got worse as they went, right? But not something I'm really used to. So we'll total that up. You'll get the average time here in just a few minutes, guys. And then next, we're going to head over to Spa and do the same thing. So hang out. Let's go check that one out. All right, folks. So here we are at Spa. Going to do the same thing. 5 laps, right? 5 laps, average time. We'll put them together. We already got the times from Imola. We'll put those up at the end for both. But here we go. Let's do the same thing at Spa that we did before. And I'll just go in here real quick so you can see. This is the setup I'm using. It's the same setup I'm going to use next time. So they're all the same. I'm not going to futz with pressures. We're in hot lap mode, so I don't have to worry about fuel. Let's just go drive, right? Let's do it.
Green light. Give it all you got.
So as we get started here in the first lap a little bit, I will tell you this. My best at this track is in the 122s. I don't know exactly because my stats won't load anymore, so it won't tell me exactly. Whoa, there we go. Won't tell me exactly what my best is, but I know it's in the 122s from the last endurance race I ran here. I doubt we'll see that today because, quite honestly, I'm not going to push the way I might during, say, a qual because, well, I'm trying to run clean, like very clean, and not lose it. I've already tried this once and had some issues, so especially with Eau Rouge and Radion going up through, I want to try and not scrub those out. And so, yes, you're going to hear me lift, you're going to hear me do all the things I would normally do to stay on track and keep valid lap times. So here we go for 5 laps. Enjoy. we go, folks. That's 5 laps, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. So we look at the timetables. We got 5 laps in. Our best one being number 3, like as I was explaining during Imola, or at the end of Imola. Usually that's how I land, right? Lap 3 or 4 is my fastest. So Imola was kind of a one-off and weird, but I'll go ahead and collect these lap times. Again, relatively consistent, all within a second and a half of each other, which is kind of what I wanted. And with sectors, purple sectors spread across at least 2 different laps, that's a good thing, I think, as well. So let's add this up. We'll tally. Let's come back with the numbers here in just a minute. Hey, folks, there you got it. So on the G920, 5 laps, right? And again, in Imola, we ran 6 because I botched one. And even the last lap at Spa, you saw me, I went deep into the corner at the end of the Kemmel, the end of the Kemmel straight. So again, that lap a little off, but I was on pace anyway because another lap was a little around a second over my fastest. So when we talk about Imola, 148.1566 was my average with the G920. At Spa, it was a 224.2448. So again, I'm going to admit, not pushing. We saw a 223 at Spa. I do know my fastest ever is a 222. So obviously there's some play there, right? And nobody's fastest lap is always their fastest lap. You make mistakes. No one's 100% consistent, all those things. But that's why we did 5 laps. And again, I will admit to not pushing during any of these laps because the goal was to get clean laps, right? Not to have to do 30 to get 5 good ones. Didn't have to do that. Again, 1 extra at Imola. But the point is that we're good, right? We got 5 of each. I've got the times. So now let's go run on, again, that Fanatec CSL-DD, the McLaren GT3 wheel, and the Club Sport V3 pedals. And let's see if I do any better across 5 laps. Now, obviously, I'm gonna play with the thing a little bit, right? I gotta dial it in, so that's gonna happen. But again, same setup, same temperatures, same track conditions. Everything's gonna be the same. We're going into hot lap mode. So we're trying to keep as much consistency in the testing as possible. Again, very unscientific. That's okay. We'll get it going anyway. So let's go back and let's run Imola again. Let's run Spa. We'll get through these. Boom. Let's see if there's any time difference at all. Who knows? Maybe I'll be worse. Wouldn't that be something? Talk to you afterwards about what the results mean, if anything. Okay, guys. So as I said, we're back here at Imola. We're going to run our 5 laps. I'm going to try and not blow them out. Let's go ahead and take a look. The setup, our current is the same setup, right? Same one we used last time. Not going to make any changes to pressures. Not going to make any changes to anything. Track conditions are the same. 9 a.m. I believe the track temp was the same, 25C, but 24C ambient, no matter what. So let's go run 5 laps. I'm going to try and concentrate. We'll zip right through them, and we'll come back and talk about the results afterwards. And there we go, guys. There's 5 laps. So we don't really need to slow down. We're not online. So let's just take a look here. We'll go back to the garage. Take a look at those timetables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times set. 5 laps. Purple in the last one. I don't know if I pushed a little harder, but it was a full second off my best previous lap at a 146.6. I got it down to a 145.6. So we'll add these up, same as we did before. And then we'll go from there and pull our average. We'll talk about it at the end. Be right with you. All right, guys, so we're back at Spa. We're going to do the same thing. You know the deal. 5 laps. Let's go in real quick before we do so you guys can see. I'm going to use that same rear rebound down 5. No changes to pressures. And again, track temps, 25C up there with, I think, 40, 50% cloud cover, whatever it is. Again, touch no settings. So let's go drive our 5 laps and see what we can do. folks, that is 5 at Spa. So again, we'll jump back. No need to wait. Let's go take a look at that timetable. So obviously, unlike Imola, spread the 3 purple sectors across 2 separate laps. The last lap, same as Imola, being my best. We'll go and take a look. I'll add up these times. We'll head back over behind the PC, add up the times, and let's take a look at if there's any change between the two. I think Imola we can say for sure. Spa, in all honesty, I'm not remembering what times I recorded during the first session, so we'll go take a look and figure that all out. See you in just a second. So, what does it all mean, folks? What did we learn? Well, again, it's very unscientific. I'm one person. I got to do 5 laps. I didn't do 100 laps. I didn't do 20. I didn't do 50. At the end of the day, let's just look at Imola first, okay? Imola, with the G920, I had a 148.1566. With the CSLDD at Imola, I had a 146.6128. That's a 1.5438 second delta. Okay, the total delta is 1.54. So just over a second and a half faster on the CSLDD at Imola versus on the G920. At Spa, however, the results are a little more mixed. I had a nobody's running 1 minute at Spa. I had a 224.2448 on the G920 with a 224.2598 on the CSLDD and the Club Sport pedals. So that leads us to a negative 0.015 delta, meaning I was actually 0.015 seconds slower on the CSLDD and the Club Sport pedals than I was on the G920. Now, I don't know why. Is it because I'm not used to that yet? My brake points are a little different. As I described in the other video, your brake points change. They do. Don't anybody tell you otherwise. I mean, you can watch track guides and everything else, but what I found was my brake points at times some are exactly the same. Others, very much closer than what they used to be. And my Spa run, I'll have to admit, was not very consistent. I can now hit 223 consistently. I had a lot of 224s there. I think I only had one 223 if we go back and look at the footage. So what does it mean? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Again, this being so unscientific, I don't know what it could mean. What I do know is this. As a feeling, right? As a feeling, I feel as though there's more potential when I'm driving with the CSLDD and the Club Sport pedals than there was with the G920. A driver of my level, again, I'm not super fast, but a driver at my level, I feel like now, I feel like I had reached the best I was going to be able to do in the 920, and that now the better hardware, the higher grade of hardware has now allowed me to push that out a little more. Obviously, I have to continue to practice Spa because that consistency wasn't that great, and as I practice, I'll get better. But that was not the point of this exercise. The point of this exercise was to see, was there a difference? I'd say we found that there is. Let's call Spa a break even. Again, a negative 0.015, just over a hundredth of a second. But a 1.5 second gain, more than a 1.5 second gain at Imola says over time, with practice, relearning my break points and things like that, I should be faster than I was before with the new hardware. And you could argue and say, yeah, but if you practiced anyway, you would probably have gotten there eventually. I don't know in less than a week that I would have gained 1.5 second on Imola with very little practice. I think before I went to record this today, I had done maybe 4 or 5 laps, again, just to try and recognize where those new break points are. So that's it, folks. Does better gear make you faster? It's working for me. I can't say whether or not it'll work for you, but it certainly is working for me. And again, I feel that the potential is there to get faster in the vehicle at a faster pace than I would have sticking with the G920. So take it for what you will. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll continue to bring you more content as soon as possible. Thanks so much.